Welcome back to the Compound Podcast. This is episode 225. 226 of the Compound Podcast, brought to you by Parse Rum. My favorite rum, your favorite rum, Parse Rum. Go to Benny's, get your Parse. It's that time of year. A little mix, a little 3-year. Dakota's getting excited. He's putting it in apple cider. You should try that. You should try that. Apple cider, Parse Rum, a little Sunday football, a little playoff baseball. Dakota's got topics for us.
I had someone message me and say that for Zach's bachelor party, I should try to get Parse Rum to sponsor it.
I love that.
I was like, kind of a great idea. I was like, that's actually an unreal idea.
I went on the radio today, and they were actually they were defending you, saying that we were giving you too hard a time for you doing all the topics last week.
Why was I getting a hard time?
You know, again, because you said you wanted to do your, what'd you call them? You didn't call
touching
them
points.
Touching points. You said you want to do touching points, and then you backed off. You're like, whoa, I don't have that many. And then,
well, because a couple were like,
off. You got it.
Just like shout outs almost of like, hey, Schwarber set the single season record home runs. That's cool. Good job, Schwarber. Like, you know, it was a touching point. It's not a full 10-minute combo.
Speaking of Schwarbs, we're in Philly. Schwarb Daddy had a homer last night, 100 RBIs on the season. Congratulations to him. I think he's got 100 RBIs, 100 runs in consecutive.
Probably 100 walks.
In consecutive seasons. He had another homer tonight on a pitch up, fastball up out of the zone. Not sure how he did it. Good player, Kyle Schwarber. Good player.
Very, very good player.
Very good player. I actually got to see his wife and his 2 kids today. They were on the field because Schwarber is being honored for his charity work. So,
but you said you didn't get to see Schwarber.
I have not seen Schwarber. We did text today.
He saw him on the field. He saw him.
He said he saw his wife and kids.
No, yeah, on the field because he was getting recognized.
Correct.
You're a smart guy.
They were on the field, and they were walking off past our dugout, and then I said hello.
Hey, that's why you're a touching point guy.
You know, how about you come with topics one week? How about that, buddy? Let's see what you got. Yeah, he got quiet.
No response for that.
Quick. He got quiet quick. It'd be Jets. It'd be nothing but Jets.
2-1.
I know. We're on to Denver.
What was your first touching point you wanted to touch on today?
We got to start with Shohei.
Yeah.
Getting into the 50-50 club and the way he did it is just insane. Creating the 50-50. Yeah. I saw a tweet that said, like, welcome to the 50-50 club. It's like, no, like, you are the creator of this club. Like, you are the sole member.
I don't want to go negative.
I think we might be on the same wavelength here.
Yep. I don't want to go negative. But is the 50-50 club with the new base running rule maybe... Oh, sorry. Is the 50-50 club with the new base running rule, like, I've seen Jose Canseco tweeting a lot about the 40-40 club and his him making the 40-40. But is it different at all?
I mean, still no one's done it. Like, yeah, it's probably a little easier to take bags, but like still, when you do the first thing that's ever happened in a sport, like that's still pretty dang impressive.
Yeah. And you look back and guys were high kicking and catchers weren't popping 1/8, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
this is also like his side hustle. Like, he's a pitcher. Like, he came over as more of a pitcher, and the fact that he's doing a 50-50 during a year where he's rehabbing his arm is kind of incredible too.
Yep. I don't want to go negative. Like I said, don't want to go negative. Just wanted to throw it out there. It's very impressive. The stretch that he's been on the last couple of weeks, insane. Zach, do you want to go negative?
Let me just give you a stat line real quick from that game before you go negative on him. He went 6 for 6 with 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and 10 RBIs. That's a good month for some people.
We were watching the game, and when everybody got updated that he hit 3 homers, it was just like, yeah, of course he did. And like, he went to spots that like you don't see people go at that field.
No.
I watched it on Sports Center, like, and I felt like it was like I was a kid again because it was like it led Sports Center. I was like, man, this feels like I'm like 12 again. And I'd had a few adult beverages, and if you had asked me how far that last home run went,
that's exactly.
I would have said legitimately, like I would have been like 520 feet because it was so far up. I know it was pulled and down the line, but in that moment, when you watch those highlights, I was so caught up with it, I would have been like, oh, he just hit a ball 515 feet, like actually.
Yes. The first one too. The first one was also a bomb.
Bomb up here, right? Which one was?
He did that. He did that at Dodger Stadium, the one dead center that was up there.
Yeah,
he's a special player, special
Zach,
player.
What's your negative take though?
it's not negative.
Go negative.
Okay, so he's in the midst 50-50, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Acuna's 70 or 40-70 or what was it?
40 something 70.
Why is like he's had what 9 more homers than him and like 20 less bags? Like, I feel like it's pretty comparable, right? I mean,
I think it's just the club of like the dual like same number. You know what I mean? Like there's guys that like Ricky Henderson probably had, I don't know how many homers he hit, but he probably had like 20-70 seasons too.
Yeah.
But yes, I do see your point.
You know
I feel
what I
like
mean?
the same
Like,
number is what people just like to see.
I'm just and like
that.
I was on the bus the other day and like I was looking at the tweets about Ohtani and then I don't know what hit me and I was just like, didn't Acuna go 40-70 last year? And like I didn't say it to anybody and I was like,
I do think Ronald's like that 40-40 season might be the most impressive 40-40 season.
Yeah, like
yeah.
But I would say like how many guys have ever hit 50 homers in a season?
It's true.
It's a pretty low number, and to also take 50 bags while you're hitting 50 homers.
Listen, I'm not being negative here. I'm just saying like,
yeah, I didn't go negative either.
No, I'd
like to give one negative stat, and it's not even a negative stat as well. Same as your guys. We're not negative. We're giving him his flowers.
Are we a negative pod?
But
it's starting to feel like it. This is 3 straight negative comments.
But I just saw a tweet that was just one of those where it just reminds you, man, this Barry Bonds guy was pretty good. So Shohei Ohtani, incredible season, unreal season. His OPS is 1023. Barry Bonds' career average OPS was 1051. His career average was higher than what Ohtani's doing this year, and he has 50 homers and 35 doubles. That's crazy.
And like, imagine if Barry Bonds wasn't intentionally walked every at bat.
Oh, there was so many other like slides on that of like crazy Barry Bonds stats, and I was like, I can't list them all.
He would have had way more. He would have had way more chances to hit.
Yeah,
he would have another Ohtani. Tom, do you have something?
We just mentioned Ricky Henderson. I just wanted to read these numbers because this is consecutive years from 82 to 86. He hit 10 homers, stole 130 bags. Hit 9 homers, stole 108 bags, then hit 16 homers and only stole 66 bags, 24 homers, 80 bags, and his last season, 86, 28 homers, 87 bags. So he's almost in like the 30-90 club.
And what we're not going to hear from you, big leg kick, and they didn't throw hard with pop time. No, still impressive. Save it.
I agree. Still impressive. Not like you've seen anybody take 100 bags since then, but
yeah. You haven't, right? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's been close.
Ohtani.
Back to positive. Back to positive. No more negative.
What he's doing this year is a DH. If you're the Dodgers, is there even a thought that crosses your mind of like maybe we don't? Do we want him to pitch?
That's what we were talking about. We were talking about this on the bus too.
You do this. It's pretty good for us. Like it's pretty good. Like what if pitching? Great player. He was a great player when he was pitching and hitting. If he comes out next year, he's pitching. The hitting's not the same. Where you're like, just hit, man. Is there ever a point when you're like, just swing it?
Who gets paid $300 million contracts outside of the superstar position player? Starting pitchers. You're telling me you're not going to take Shohei Ohtani every 5th day on the mound, sitting 97, 99 with all his other, like, no chance.
It's just a question, dude. You don't
I know, but I just had to, as a pitcher, I had to rebuke that and just say, that's crazy. Because you forget how good he is as a starting pitcher. And the biggest flaw with the Dodgers going into this postseason is you're looking at Bueller, Flaherty, Knack, maybe. I think that's his name. Like their starting pitching is a big question mark going into the postseason, and they would kill to have Shohei Ohtani pitching 2 of those games.
They haven't ruled him out, by the way. He's been rehabbing, and I know I doubt they're going to do it, but I'm just saying they haven't officially ruled out that he won't pitch this season, and he has been obviously ramping back up to try to do it.
I am way out on that. I agree. I think there is a chance, but I'm way out on that. You don't have someone coming back from TJ have their first live ABs be in game 4 of the postseason. And like his first outing would have to be in like a comfortable lead game. The other issue becomes you throw him in the 8th inning
Dakota, this is for also normal people. This guy is a freak.
Yes, but I'm saying, no, this is my bigger issue. It's like, okay, he throws in the 8th inning. Then you go to the 9th inning. You give up the lead. He is now out of the game. You go to extra innings. Your best bat is now out of the lineup.
No.
Yes.
It's the Ohtani rule. They made a rule for Ohtani. He doesn't come out of the game.
If you come in relief?
I think it's only if he starts, though.
It's only if he starts.
That's what I think. He has to start the game.
I'm sure if they said, hey, he's going to come out of the pen. No, before the playoffs start, if they say, hey, he's gonna pitch, you're telling me MLB is gonna say, yeah, if you take him out, he's done.
You have to. You can't keep the DH.
I know, but I'm saying since he is like they've redid the baseball rule for him in the past, and they said,
yes,
right, as a starter, like you don't lose your DH.
If this happens and they say that they can do this, if I'm every other team, I file lawsuits. I say this is criminal. You can't just make up rules going into the postseason because he's our best player. Like you can't.
Yes,
do that.
I agree.
That's crazy.
Right.
But yes, I agree that as a starter he could stay in, but as a reliever, like say he starts the game as DH, goes in and relieves, then gets taken out. Like you can't let him continue to hit. Like that's just. We're making up rules. Let's put ghost runners on base. Let's just have your fastest runners go out there every time. Like, what are we doing? Let's run for the catcher so we can get a break on his legs.
We do have ghost runners.
You guys don't think they should just DH him? That you're out on that one. Everybody's out.
I strongly dislike that take. I love you, but I hate that take.
Yep, that's fair. I went a little negative there. Didn't mean to. Super impressive season. It's absolutely ridiculous, and he hits the ball really hard, hard all the time.
Swings the bat fast.
Good player. Swings bat fast. Also, he's like 6'6", and
he is. He's tall, man.
He's a large human,
big dude.
Another funny thing, like he has trained at Driveline in the past, and he assessed here. His mechanics, like on our biomech, are like very mid, but he's like a freak in the weight room.
That's what I heard.
Shows that like if you're just a freak athlete, like. That'll outplay some of your deficiencies in other areas.
I heard he jumps through the roof.
Yeah, just a freak.
What's your next bit for us?
Oh, it's called bits now.
We're doing bits this week. Touchy subject here. We're not touching on this subject, but it's a touchy subject. Jameson Taillon said the Cubs should be a 90-win team every season. The Cubs have been eliminated. I believe he was asked that question after that. Just kind of curious, Ian's thoughts. Season kind of, being eliminated. We're in the hunt there late. Yeah. Outlook for the offseason. How we're looking going into next year.
Yeah. So this was actually a comment the council made.
Okay. Oh, I did see that. They both said it. Yeah.
So council made the comment that, we should be trying to build 90-win teams and that should be the goal, which I think
true. It's a fact.
Every team.
Why isn't every team, right?
Every team who's going to compete that year thinks they can compete. Like, that should be the goal, to build a 90-win team. And if you build a team that's projected to win 83 games or 85 games, upside of that is 90 and downside of that is, 80 or 75 or whatever. So I think that was just his way of saying like, yeah, we need to be better, and we need to find a way going into next year to feel like we have a group that is like very capable day one of winning 90 games and like performing to that level. And, I think J-Mo reiterated that, and like as the Chicago Cubs and like what kind of the standard has been set from 15, 16, 17, right, all the way through that, like, yeah, that's what the fans expect. And that's what we as the organization, the players, the coaches, like we want to deliver that. Like we don't want to be sitting here eliminated with a week left to play. And, maybe we win, I don't know where we're at, 81 games, maybe we win 83, 85, but like, we don't want to be sitting on the couch in October.
I agree. I meant more like, I couldn't agree more with what he's saying. Like there is, like you said, there's some teams that they'll never admit it, but they go into the season and like, they're not going to make the playoffs. Like that's just kind of how it is. But like there is
sometimes
certain organizations. Yes. But I'm saying there's certain organizations, Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees. Really, you can even put the Mets in there, Dodgers. Like there's certain organizations that it's like we have a standard of we compete every year. Like the Cubs have reestablished that, like you said, since 15, 16, 17. Like that is how it should be. Like we should never go into it being like, hopefully we can crack a wild card spot. It's like, no, we plan to go out and dominate our division, make the playoffs, make a deep run. So I just love hearing Tyon say that, just like, hey, we're the Chicago Cubs. We should do this every season and win more games.
And you look at a team like Atlanta this year, like they're a pretty good example of like that team has dominated for the last 5 years, that division. You know, they have had a ton of injuries and a ton of guys go down, and they're still right there. And so like their kind of worst case scenario on the year is to be like fighting for the last wild card spot. And that's like worst case for them. Like best case, yeah, they're gonna win 100 games and dominate the division. Like worst case, they're fighting for a wild card spot in a division that is looking at having 2, if not 3 teams in the playoffs.
It really is crazy. That is I mean, they've like the Phillies won the division. I think I saw something for the first time since 2011. The Braves have won it the last 5 years, 6 years. I mean, and they're set up for the future for a long time. Like that is, and you know, being over there, like that is the standard there. It's to win. Like there was like Snickers said something this year, and you know, even when the Braves were down and out kind of in the middle of the year, not things weren't going well. He's like, no, like don't get it twisted. Like we're focused on trying to win the East. Like this is the standard. This is what we talk about from day one, you know, and injuries or not, you're still fighting for a playoff spot, man.
It is pretty crazy. They're still like in that hunt
it's
without
wild,
Riley and Azuña for most of the year, and then Riley getting hurt.
Dude,
yeah, Ozzy's been out. You know,
yeah.
Fried's been down a couple of times. Strider's been out. Like, you know,
I forgot about Strider too.
They've made some great moves, and like Chris Sale is going to win the Cy Young, and like unbelievable move. Obviously, Lopez fantastic all year, and like so, yeah, they've had some guys that have had great years, but at the same time, like a bunch of their studs who are expected to kind of carry the group have been down. And can I just give Olsen his flowers, because
yeah,
he's doing it, and
Bro.
he you know he had some tough he had some tough go in the middle of that year, but you're gonna look back at the end, look at these numbers, and like, yeah, his standard's pretty high, but like he's put together a really nice year and deserves some credit for that.
I think he's floating right around an 800 OPS still.
796.
He's got close to 30 homers.
29.
And there was a point where he was stuck for like homerless for a few weeks, and never would have guessed. The guy's got over, 500 straight games played. He's out there posting every single day.
See 100 RBIs?
98.
I would say he's close, yeah. And
again,
if that's a bad year, like
30 and 100 in a bad year, that's producing.
A lot of people would sign up for that for their first baseman.
And like you said, it's pretty. I think he's one of, I forget how many are still left in this, but maybe one of 5 players that's played every single game. Like that's
Ozuna is one too out there. Yeah. Again, I understand it's DH, but like, as I could not imagine his mental toll right now.
Yes.
He's played every game. He, like you guys said, a lot of the guys were kind of having down years, the injuries, everything. He has hit third or fourth, whatever, third, fourth, fifth, whatever, every single game, and posted every single day, and still has been hitting 300 with over a 900 OPS all year. Like, you know how like stressful that must be? It's like, hey, if at this point, it's like I'm the kind of, I don't want to say the only one. I don't want this to get taken out of context, but like, hey, I'm the one
offense for a long time.
Like it was the offense, and if like, hey, if I have a bad game, like we kind of all have a bad game right now, and he has to be mentally exhausted right now. Let alone physically exhausted.
You said it, but also Ozuna as well. Like you said, like played every game, but it was basically like those two needed to produce, or they were kind of in trouble that day. Like that's just kind of how it was.
100%.
I was going to ask you guys, do you think it's more mentally to play 162 on the body or the mind?
Depends on the position, but
yeah,
I think the mind in general.
I mean, Lindor just this last week missed his first game with his back. Like, he's out there playing short every single day, man. Like, there's something about, I mean, I don't know, man. Like,
and taking bags and doing it. Yeah, I think there's a bit that's like, you get banged up throughout the year from different things. Like some of it you can't control, and like the ability to go out there every single day to prepare your body every single day, but also like Olsen, like when he was grinding, to just keep going out there every day. And like the manager wasn't like, hey man, just let me give you like we get a Sunday day game after a night game, and we have a Monday off day. Just let me give you a day off, and you can just watch 9 innings of baseball. You get Monday off. You get 2 days to come back on Tuesday refreshed. Like, nope, you're in there, my man. You're in there.
I think that is such like an underrated thing about him, and like guys who do that. Like, there's something about the rest of the locker room looking at you like, hey, you're really going through it right now, and you're still not even checking the lineup because you know your ass is going to be out there no matter what. Like,
there's got to be a sense of pride of playing
100%.
Like it doesn't happen often anymore.
Dude, when I was there, he got hit in the ankle by the pitch, and like we all were like, oh no, like he's coming out. Like he didn't come out, and he's like he could barely stand on it, and it eventually went away, and there was just no doubt that he was trying his best to stay in this game. And the next day, like he's got an ice bag on it, whatever it is, like, and guess what? He's like, unless he couldn't walk, he was out there. He wasn't checking the lineup. I bet you there's no way he went into Snit's office and was like, hey, I need a day. It's like, no. You're not taking me out of this lineup. And like that travels, whether you're talking about it or not, throughout the locker room, man. Like if he's going out there, like I'm going out there.
What do you got? What's your next bit? I don't want to take it over. It's your bits.
Charlie Blackman announces his retirement was my next one.
Great 14 years with the Rockies.
Pretty cool that I saw today he had his retirement press conference and they're playing the Cardinals and Arenado was at the press conference. That's pretty cool. Played a ton of years together. Like I want to say came up together, like relatively the same age. So like that was pretty special.
Yeah, I think another cool thing that I saw, I believe it was Todd Helton. They asked him if they should retire Blackman's number. And he was like, yeah. Why wouldn't they? There's like, look where he is on the all-time numbers for the Rockies. Like, why? How could you not?
Like, it's not even a question.
Career 831 OPS, 226 homers, 333 doubles, 1,600 career games. It's a nice career, man. 292 career hitter. It's a nice career.
One of those guys that was just like, I feel like super dependable, like played a ton of games every year and just like was at the top of the lineup for all those years and just like produced at such a high level for such a long time.
Yeah, I mean, to play that many games at Coors is different. He had 4 All-Star games,
2 Silver Sluggers.
Yeah, a couple of Silver Sluggers. I mean,
OPS 1,000, his best year on the dot. 1,000
with 14 trips. Led the league in hits. Played 159 games. Led the league in plate appearances, hits, triples, runs, total bases.
You just knew you were going to get a professional at bat from him for 150 games out of the year.
Yeah. That's a great career, and like in this era to play your whole career in one place, great walkout, one of the all-time walkouts.
What was it? What song?
Oh God.
It's a rock song, isn't it?
Yeah. And the whole stadium sings it.
Me.
Yeah.
I can hear it. I can hear it in my head.
I'm trying to find it right now.
This is a lull.
This is riveting podcasting as we all just Google Charlie Blackman
exactly.
walk-up song.
Your Love by the Outfield.
If you played it, you would know it, and then you would love it. Because the whole stadium sings it, and he's the first at bat of the game for that, and the whole stadium sings it, and it's electric. Okay? And maybe that didn't come across in the podcast form, but if anybody goes out there and just little YouTube search Charlie Blackman walkout, you'll love it.
Yeah. I just listened to it.
My next topic is a surprise topic. Ian, I believe it's brought to us by Bruce Bolt.
Oh, the Bruce Bolt surprise topic of the app?
Yep.
Bruce Bolt surprise bits. BruceBolt.us. The batting gloves that I wear, the batting gloves that Zach wears. I could use an elbow guard today from Bruce Bolt on my back elbow. Never seen it before, but I might put it in play tomorrow. BruceBolt.us. All your baseball needs: batting gloves, shin guards, elbow guards, arm sleeves, baseball pants, hats, whatever you need. BruceBolt.us. Bruce Bolt, Surprise bets, go.
Last time I faced Zach, I hit him on the back arm.
No, front one.
I thought it was the back elbow.
Come on, dude. Remember.
You did hit the back one.
It was the back arm. I know it was. It was a two-seam in. You started to turn on it, and it ran in on your hands, hit you on the arm. I looked at you, and I said, no way that just hit you.
Yeah, you're bad. Ball moved too much. Sorry
it was bases loaded, and it let her run. And I was a terrible last outing in my career with the Cubs. Don't want to talk about it. Thanks for bringing it up. Dakota, you idiot. Next topic. It's a surprise because it's kudos to Zach. I believe he said it on the pod, but he's definitely said it to me multiple times. Tarik Skubal. Zach called him winning a Cy Young at some point many times, was early in on this, and he is going to win a Cy Young. Pitch today, 7 shutty. Not sure the exact line, but like he's just electric to watch throw the baseball. I love watching him pitch. So nice job, Zach. You were correct.
Thanks. I know, ball. It's funny, man. He was a 9th round pick from Seattle. I feel like we've just talked about him, but I'm saying it again. Like, he was somebody who truly blossomed like in the big leagues. Like, I remember his first year in 21 when I played with him. He got a cup of coffee in 20. In 21, he kind of got off to a shaky start, came out of the bullpen for my debut. Like, they moved him to the pen, kind of like a last resort before they were going to maybe option him. And I don't remember. I mean, obviously he must have pitched well enough, but like what he's doing now compared to back then, he wasn't sitting 98 to 100 like what he's doing now. And for him just to, go balls to the wall for the last 2 or 3 years, he had some injuries. Last year he missed a little bit with a flexor in his elbow, kind of dodged a bullet by not getting TJ. And to come back and just do what he's doing, he's literally dominant every 5th day, whatever it is. And in a team where, they're doing an opener, it feels like every other game. And to give that team 6 to 8 innings every 5th day, it shows what that team is capable of doing right now, especially when he's going out there. And dominant today, Dakota, like you said, when they need it the most. And it's just such a reliable guy. And for him just to be the front runner for AL Cy Young is awesome because, I've seen him. He works harder than anybody that I've ever met in my life too. It's pretty special.
He, not a knock. Definitely likes tight pants. He does wear tight pants.
Are you going negative? You going negative?
Not what
go
I
negative.
would.
Negative pod. Negative pod.
Not
go
what I would wear,
on.
but he does enjoy the tight pants. That's okay. He can. If you throw like that, wear whatever you want. You don't have to wear pants if you throw that good. I don't care. Wasn't his name in a lot of trade rumors this year?
I'm sure it was in the offseason.
And it's just like,
this year. No, you're right.
At the deadline,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, the Tigers are probably sitting there now like, thank God we didn't trade this guy. Like, we wouldn't be here. There's no way they'd be where they are now.
It's crazy. They traded Flaherty at the deadline.
Yeah. I mean, it's worked out, apparently. Flaherty's done good, but like, it's worked out.
No, I mean, he's somebody, it's going to be interesting when he's a free agent. I think in 2-3 years, hopefully he stays healthy for the next 3 years because he can go on a serious run. He truly can go on a serious run. Ian, have you faced him recently?
Not recently. No. Might have faced him early, like 21 maybe. Not recently, but he's 27.
2 more years of ARB.
Free agent around 30.
At 30, yes.
At 30, yeah. I mean, the numbers are crazy.
He's going to get a lot of money.
I mean, I feel like he would be an extension candidate, but I'm pretty sure he's a Boris guy.
Might be pitching himself away from an extension.
I was going to say, as of right now, he can command 300 mil.
That's true. It's just, I mean,
I guarantee you if the Tigers could, they'd go back 2 months ago and offer him an extension.
Yeah. Like, we'd love to have you forever. I got a lot of heat for it today around the office because a lot of people are Mariners fans. I think the Tigers are fun. I want to see them in the postseason over like the Twins and the Mariners. And I'd rather see the Royals.
You might get it.
Well, I want Royals Tigers to get the last 2 spots. I think they're just like more fun teams to watch. Like, I think the Tigers are electric to watch with just how young they are.
Dude, it's wild because they brought up all their guys recently as like I think I would say kind of like a hybrid of like, all right, let's kind of switch it up a bit. And hey, let's see what we have. Like, let's
run
bring
them out
them
there
up.
and see what we got. I mean, they traded Flaherty. They're doing the opener thing. Obviously, Hobby with the hip surgery, and it's just like, let's sort of run them out there.
Why not? See what we got. And I think one thing, and like they really caught on with this opener thing, man. Like, and again, teams have done it before. But I'm pretty sure they're doing it like
religiously,
like 3 out of 5 days.
Yeah, which is nuts. And
they also called up that Jackson Jobe.
Yeah, that could be that. I mean, that guy in spring, I remember watching it, and he was just sitting 100. Like, and if he's going to come out of the pen, throw 2 innings max, I mean,
it's also, we love Foles on this podcast. We're a very pro Jason Foley podcast. They are almost like closer by committee, like late inning guy, like Bo Brisky closed the game today, like through the last 2 innings. Like they're an interesting team to watch because they don't have like set roles. I feel like they just kind of put in like, hey, Brisky looks really good. Let's keep him in there to close the game.
I think Foles has, Tom, if you could look this up, I think he has 26 saves right now or 28 saves. And I was talking to him today. I forgot he said he's an anti-numbers guy, hates him until the last day of the year. I think he said something off the top of his head. He's like, I feel like I've pitched like 15 times in September.
26.
Yeah. He has 26 saves. And again, to have 26 saves, basically, Dakota, like what you said, a closer by committee, that's pretty impressive. Where, there was times when I would have a separate group chat with some guys I've played with, and we would be all fired up like, why is Foles not in this game? He could have easily had over 30. I mean, it's, again, talk about watching somebody grow. And I mean, he's doing it, man. He's growing his hair out. His beard he's got he's rocking the playoff beard right now. They're fun to watch, man. It's
And you said the clubhouse, like you loved that clubhouse. You love those dudes. And like there is something they all came up together. They all like they've grown together. They've done this, from the minor leagues through. And like there's a little bit of Royals 2014, 2013, 2014.
It's also cool to see, friend of the pod, like Torque starts the year, really struggles, and then like to come back and he hits in like the 6-7 hole, like middle to bottom half of the order, and like just been producing from down there too. Like that's really cool to see someone struggle like that and then like make their way back and be like, I can still do this.
Skubal, friend of the pod too, right?
No, you keep saying we can get him on, but
no,
I don't think
we had him on.
No, we had him on.
We did have him on. That's right.
Had him on.
Friend of the pod. We had some Tigers. We had some Tigers.
Cut it, Tom.
Go Tigers. We had Skubal, we had Torque, and we had Foley.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, Ian, like you said, I mean, it's a special clubhouse, man. Even one of my good friends too. I was again talking to Foles today. Will Vest. He is literally, you can throw him in any situation, and he just has FU heaters throwing right now. He's like 96, 98. And again, somebody who he was Rule 5'd by Seattle a few years ago, and 21, I believe, was given back to the Tigers. I think this will be his first year ARB. He's had some great numbers, not saves really, but holds and pretty good, I'm pretty sure, in leverage this year. And again, just somebody you can throw in any situation. You want to open them, sure. You want to throw them up a few, down a few. You want to close them, great. And it just seems like they have somebody for every situation in that bullpen.
Yeah, you're saying he just comes in and says, "Go Tigers."
I have become a Go Tigers fan. I just wear my ZS59 Go Tigers colored shirt whenever they play.
No.
A chill in the air, leaves falling to the ground, and football every weekend. That's what fall is all about. You can make each weekend even more exciting by getting into the action with our partners at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 instantly will get $200 in bonus bets when you use code COMPOUND. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code COMPOUND and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code COMPOUND only at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Dakota, what's your next bit?
The next one I got two more, is the catcher for the Twins, former catcher for the Twins, that was tipping pitches.
This was a minor league thing. Do you want to tell the story?
Yes, he was in Single A. His name's Derek Bender. He was in Single A, and he was essentially late in the season just telling the other team what the pitchers were throwing because he said that he wanted the season to be over. Has just been drafted this year. I believe he was like a 10th rounder?
6th rounder.
And he was just telling the other team what pitches were coming because he said he wanted the season to be over and he wanted to go home and didn't want to make the playoffs in the minors.
Hey, do you
Kind
think
of just a crazy story.
Do you think that that's something that the organization's like, that's what, well, probably not
Slap on the wrist.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean,
they released him right away, right?
I think that's one of the biggest no-brainer. Like, yep, we got to let you go. Like you're literally telling me I don't really like baseball that much. I'm ready to be done.
Ian, you go up to the plate tomorrow. Who's pitching for them?
Sanchez.
JT Real Muto's back there says, "Hey, I got a slider coming here, trying to get you over."
First thing is Ian doesn't believe him. I bet.
Don't believe him.
Don't,
No
right?
It would freak me out. Be like, don't believe you. I'd be like, sinker.
How many pitches in a row would he have to tell you before you started to believe him?
I think you'd stay skeptical the whole time.
Yeah,
be
dude,
like,
if you got down
this is the
0-2
one.
and he's like, "Hey, I'm
This is
telling
the
you,
one
another
where he
heater's
gets
coming."
me.
Yeah, I would never believe him. Never. Because then I come over to the second at bat. If I saw 5 pitches in the first at bat, he told me everyone that was coming, and they were all right. I'd be like, he set me up for the second one.
Exactly, 100%. You would never buy into it. There's no way.
No
chance.
What do you think that the dugout? Because I guess they were playing the Tigers, right? What do you think that dugout was like when after the first person spoke up?
They must have just been like, he must have told him like, "Hey man, I don't want us to make the playoffs. Like, I'm gonna let you know what's coming." And then,
but then who's the first person to come back and be like, "Hey, did he tell you not to swing?"
Yeah,
probably right
away.
Like
I bet the first guy is just like, "Hey, he's telling me what's coming."
And then the coaches find out about it, and it's just, where does that go from there? Like, do you courtesy call the other manager and be like, "Hey, man, this is what's going on"?
I bet one of the players that got it, honestly, probably just got to first base and was like, "Hey man, your catcher's telling us the pitches." I don't know if you know this or not.
Oh my
this
God.
is crazy.
Dakota, how would you feel if you were the pitcher in that situation?
It might be, as the kids would say, on site. We might be throwing hands. I'd be like, this is my career, man, and you're just letting them destroy me right now. Because you throw a back foot slider to a left, you're like, man, that was a really good slider. How did you just take that? And then you just dot a fastball away and they just take it to left center. You're like, what's going on right now? This is crazy. I'd be so upset.
That would be an instant fight.
It has to be. It was handled correctly. To me, the Twins, it's yeah, that's the right move. It's not hey man, can't do this again. It's no, you're gone.
They might have been protecting the guy, getting rid of him. He could have, if he came in the clubhouse the next day, it might have been trouble.
Yeah. That's just crazy. Imagine that call into the office of hey man,
it's like something out of a movie. I mean, you see it in Bull Durham, and there's the famous scene in Space Jam at the beginning where they're trying to help Jordan get a hit. But when that actually happened, you're like, this can't be real.
Did you ever have that in summer ball or hear stories in summer ball in college where guys would on purpose not make plays because they didn't want to stick around and be in the playoffs?
So when I was working in Bellingham, we won the last day of the season on a walk-off double to force 2 other teams to play an elimination, a game that was a makeup game because there were wildfires that they didn't play and they didn't think they were going to need to play it. We won. The 2 other teams had to play, and all the guys in our team thought they were about to go home, and we had to come to the field the next day and have a watch party. You've never seen a team that wanted to not make the playoffs, and the game was the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league, and we're like, best team in the league's making the playoffs. They're not going to play anybody good. Rolled out with their starting lineup as normal, and it was 11-0 in the second inning. And then it was kind of fun though, because then it was like a funeral for the season where it was we're not making the playoffs. All right, let's all just kind of hang out and have a good time.
Summer
I've
ball's
heard
a
about
different
that.
breed, man.
I've heard about that in college summer ball of like a third baseman like just completely olaying a ball and being like, well,
See,
I'm not gonna make the playoffs. I'm going home.
I've never seen that. That's crazy,
I've never seen it either.
bro.
See, Zach, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I get it to an extent of like you come from college, like you've been playing since March, like you're probably just a little worn out. Like he's a catcher, so like he's probably just extra exhausted. Like I get that, but like you and me were on a lot of playoff teams coming up through the minors. Like it's still really fun. Like I know it's the minors, and it's like who really cares? Like we won a short season championship, like whatever. But like it was still so fun to do that.
Dude,
like
and
games that matter, no matter what level, are still so fun.
especially like you said in the minor leagues, you don't really play many, quote unquote meaningful games, but like when it starts to get real towards the end and you're playing for something like Eugene, dude, that was so much fun. And of course,
Electric.
yeah, sometimes it's nice. You're like, man, like I just went over with 4 punches. Like a couch at home sounds great right now. But like when you make a sick play, or you get a big knock, like it's great. And then maybe, like you're fired up with the boys, and then after the game, you're like, oh man, boys, we're here for another week. Like, hey, we're here, might as well win,
Yeah.
That's usually the motto of every coach is like, if we're here, we might as well win.
Yeah.
And like, I worked a lot in summer ball, and one of my favorite memories, Cubs prospect Chase Strumpf, we went to Victoria, first playoff game there since 1950, 6,500 people there, which for summer ball is crazy. And he hit 2 homers in the first 2 innings, and the second one's maybe the longest ball I've ever seen hit. And the silence, they threw their game it was the second game of a 3-game set. They threw their game 3 starter in the second inning, and he hit the home run off him, and it was like 8-0 in the second. And it's one of it's a game that I'll never forget. So it is like, obviously all the guys probably didn't want to be there, but once you get there, you are like, if we're here, we might as well try to win.
Can I just say a quick comment on that? Throwing your game 3 starter in the second inning at game 2, probably not the best managerial move. Doesn't set you up well for game 3. Just saying.
Sounds like your manager was kind of trying to blow it.
No, it was the other team.
The other team's manager wanted to go home.
Like Zach in 2019, were you there at the end of the year? Or were
yeah,
you back
in
your
Iowa.
Hand or,
no, yeah.
Like when we lost to Round Rock in the playoffs, I was actually bummed. I was like,
yeah,
dang,
dude,
man, like
it's fun.
This
like,
was fun.
Yes,
and when you have a fun group you're playing with, like the team's fun. Like it's just
that's why.
stinks.
Like I was talking to Foles tonight, and he wasn't. I was the one who was like, man, I really hope you get to pop champagne, and he was yelling at me like, dude, shut up, just shut up.
Yeah,
and
I feel like he's like me, very superstitious.
Oh man. And again, I only did it in Iowa in a small locker room in the showers doing it. And
Still
then we
sick.
did it, yeah, like in Eugene, which was really pro. Like for them, if they make the playoffs this year, for them to pop champagne after the run that they had to have gone on with basically all of their friends, like that is incredible. That's why you play.
There is nothing. There is no feeling, none, like flooding a big league clubhouse with champagne. There is nothing like it.
I think the minor leagues one's still
They're
cool. But thanks, Ian.
You still go to some.
You were talking about the showers.
Cool.
I'm saying the wet carpet
really
in a big league clubhouse that just stinks of champagne is something special.
They gotta get professional cleaners in the next day.
Dude, you can still see stains on a majority of clubhouses on the ceiling.
It was a good point, like you said, in Eugene, we did have like we had like the tarps up, like covering the lockers. Like it was very pro how we did that one. That one was sick.
Yeah.
What's your last bit?
We need to hold a moment of silence. We need to say our goodbyes to the Oakland Coliseum. Last series happening there right now.
I just saw who's playing there.
I think the Rangers are going there.
Rangers, correct. Rangers.
I think they were briefed by their security about what could possibly happen at the end of that. I think it's going to be a sellout, and I think there might be some people on the field after the Wago. So I think that's going to be quite a scene.
I may go there and just thank the grounds crew for making such a great infield. That place
is a good surface. They had a good surface,
dude. The best. The best.
He said, hey, the rest of the facility, but you guys, the grounds crew, you were great. Rest
It's
of the
gritty,
place can
man.
use some
It's
work.
gritty. It's gritty.
It's going to be really interesting to see
Sacramento, the
how
River
much
Cats.
if the
For
fan
3 years
if the fan base that'll be
Insane.
interesting. We're playing their first week of the season next year, but
on turf.
it'll be interesting to see.
Incredible episode coming.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see just like the fan base and what happens. And there's a lot of people there. Nico's talked about it. There's a lot of people there from Oakland that had some great years of A's baseball. The '90s and the kind of early mid 2000s. And, some really good baseball teams, some really good baseball players that came through there, and like hopefully that fan base travels to wherever they go because
I think it gets a bad rep as like a bad fan base of late, like with like no attendance. I think that's more of a reflection of the product on the field,
I
and
think
like
that was their whole argument. It's
Yeah,
like, listen,
like-
we'll show up if we get a better product.
I have one of my friends I work with is like a diehard A's fan, and he's like upset they're leaving. He's like, dude, that's like my favorite team. Like he's like a Warriors fan and all that, but he's like, no, like the A's are like my team. He's like, I'm so pissed they're leaving.
Yeah, always great unis.
Dude,
But you know what? You know what we
Great
noticed?
unis.
You know what we noticed? They were
Elite.
just in town. No mandatory white cleats anymore for the
that,
A's.
Ooh.
yeah.
And you know
I
what?
forgot about that.
should always be an A's thing.
I kind of think that should stay, just like the shaving for the Yankees. That's right. I agree with you, Ian.
Mandatory
Just like
white
you agree
cleats.
with the Yankees.
Miggy said, speaking of the fans, Miggy, I'm sure I've said it before. Miggy said when they went there for the playoffs, he said that was the scariest place that he's ever been.
I bet.
Jerry Blevins, who is one of the most thoughtful and well-spoken, not just baseball players, but people I've ever talked to me about 2012, and he said that was the most special season of his career with Oakland. And he said those playoff games, he had never been in a building like that in his entire life. And he was very emotional, like when they announced that they were taking the team away. He's like, that fan base is a really, really special fan base. And they've had the Warriors taken away from them. I know they're going to San Francisco, but still, the football team left, and now the baseball, like they've lost everything. And for that fan base, like I love Moneyball. It's one of my favorite movies. And someone, Justin Shackle, former John Boy Media guy, put up the soundtrack from that movie, which lives in my head over the image of them at the field this last week. And it made me like legit emotional. I was like, this is so sad that this team that has, goes all the way back to Philadelphia. This is the team that's moved the most. Philadelphia, Kansas City, Oakland. This fan base deserves that team. The fact that John Fisher is doing what John Fisher is doing is despicable.
I actually had a thought after when I saw, that was going to be the last series, like if they ever took baseball away from Wrigley Field, and I was like, wow, will never
I
happen.
don't even know what would happen.
Will
I don't
never
know
happen,
what would. It
but
would.
that would be gut wrenching,
Be the next great fire of Chicago. Be the second.
I was gonna say it might get like it would not be allowed to happen. Like there would be, I can't even say what would happen. Bad things. But you know what I thought of, Ian, when I thought one last thing. How I always joke that you would get traded to the Yankees. I don't think I've ever seen you clean shaven. And I just think that'd be kind of funny to see you clean shaven on the Yankees.
I might have to go mustache.
No, you don't have a mustache.
That'd be so good.
I might have two chins under this beard. Hey,
that's what I tell people why I keep my beard is because I got a double chin. It's the only way I hide it a little bit.
Danny Mueller has a hot take for us, and we skipped him last week. And I think you guys are gonna like this. Tater tots are the worst form of potatoes.
No. Nope. Immediate no. Let's get to screen time. That's insane.
I also think it's insane.
Insane.
I think like potato, I don't like baked potatoes. Like
Yeah,
worse for me.
Yeah,
like a potato wedge is worse for me. There's
Listen,
plenty
if
of
you
forms
fry
that I think-
potato, it's pretty good. Let's just be honest. If you fry a potato, it's almost always going to be very good.
Zach,
relax,
you're a tater
relax,
tot
Danny.
guy.
yeah. I don't have them religiously, but I don't hate them.
You're more of a sweet potato tot guy.
I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Screen time.
That's a crazy take saying he
Crazy
doesn't like
take.
tater tots.
Worst form. Crazy. Sloan is the world's leading manufacturer of commercial plumbing systems. The company is at the forefront of the green building movement and provides smart, sustainable, and hygienic restroom solutions by manufacturing water-efficient products, including flush-emitters, faucets, sink systems, soap dispensers, and fixtures for commercial, industrial, and institutional markets worldwide. To learn more, visit Sloan, Bennies.com. What are your screen times?
450.
533.
I'll tell you, I got some consistent bars the last couple of days.
That's some off-season numbers for CS right there.
Yeah.
419 for me. That's a 419.
319.
Oh,
my-
Tom.
Tom,
Upset
have
of
you
the
been
century.
throwing your phone away on recording days?
People forget. I said, I think in July, I said, watch out for me in July. It took a little bit longer than I thought, but I told people it was coming. Once I got rid of Twitter, delete Twitter off your phone, folks. It's the move.
Tom, that's
you
a special day
dog.
for you. Congratulations, man. You deserve that win.
Proud of you. Proud of you,
Got a
Tom.
baby, Tom.
Appreciate you guys.
Zach, you got some big bars there the last few days, my man.
Brother. Travel days, Sundays. Come on.
That's episode 226 of the Compound Podcast presented. Is it 225? Am I wrong again? 226
Believe
of
in
the
yourself.
Compound Podcast presented by Parse Rum. When I say Parse, you say Rum.
Rum.
Zach,
Rum.
you win. You win the Parse Rum.
Didn't
Fast-
even say
fast
Parse.
Parse Rummer of today. We will go to Benny's, get your Parse. We'll see you next week.